This video is protected under fair use. All images and music used are owned by their respective owners.
Today we're doing a first impressions on an online manga, which I've never done before. So this is going to be quite interesting, so let's get started on the video. So as of recently, I've been getting into online manga. The manga I read online are series that are not available in English, published, like they're not published in English here in Canada. But what I plan on doing is, so I still support the creators, I will be buying the Japanese volumes of the series I do read online. So I already have this series, like the whole 13 volumes in my Amazon cart, ready to buy after Inman North when I have money, so that might be a while, but like I have it ready for me to buy, so I really do want it though, because like it's an amazing series. But the series I will be talking about today is Taiyou no Li, or The House of the Sun. This series is so good. It's a romance slice of life, and it's definitely something different than what I've seen before, so let's get talking about it, I guess. So I'll just give you a brief description of what the series is about. This girl named, I'm really bad at pronouncing this name because it's just so oddly spelled, but Mayo, I'll just say Mayo because that's how it looks. But this girl's named Mayo. When she was younger, her mother ran away with another man and left her father by herself to raise Mayo, like her, so her father raised her. But soon after, he found somebody else and got remarried, and he had these stepkids move in. And Mayo, after the whole incident with her mother and everything, her mother and father weren't really there for her life. They were kind of just like out of it. So Mayo was by herself. The majority of her life she learned to take care of herself and deal with her own problems. She didn't like being involved with other people. But her neighbors, she became really close with her neighbors. And they became so close that they were like family. She was there every day, she ate dinner with them, and the parents she was especially close with because they were more parents to her than her actual parents were. And after an incident involving the parents of her, or like not her real parents but her neighbor parents things, after an incident involving them, all the children that lived with those parents end up moving away except one. And then he's kind of just there by himself, the eldest son. Then time passes, and now Mayo is 17 and the oldest son is Hiro, and he is 23, so there's a 6-year gap between them. What ends up happening is, after the remarriage of Mayo's father, Mayo becomes quite stressed being at home because she does not like the fact that her father is now treating these kids more like his actual kids than he is with Mayo. So she's just being left out of the family equation thing that's going on. So after a fight involving her father, she moves in with Hiro, who he does not go to high school anymore, as I said before. He is 23, but he ended up leaving high school to get a job because the house that he lives in now is very expensive, but he really wants to keep his family home with him for the day that all his siblings move back in with him. But now Mayo is living with Hiro, and as time passes, Mayo begins to have feelings for Hiro, and Hiro isn't sure of if he has feelings for Mayo, but he's afraid because of the age difference, which is 6 years, so it's kind of bad. Like if they were older, so let's say he was like in his 30s and she was like in her like later 20s, it wouldn't be that bad, but she's 17 and in high school and he's graduated. So it's just kind of like, it's kind of him trying to figure out, is it okay for him to be in love with somebody who it has such an age difference, or somebody he's been so close with almost as like a sister his whole entire life. I've read up to volume 4, so that's 13 chapters? Yeah, 13 chapters. And in all there is 13 volumes within the series, so it's quite a short series in my standards. I read the 4 volumes all in one day. It was so good you can't put it down. But the series is getting to a point where it's getting very dramatic because all these other people are coming in with their own feelings and their own thoughts of Mayo and Hiro's situation, but they don't really other people don't know about the Mayo and Hiro situation. It's just Hiro's getting into his own like problems, and Nao's getting into her own problems, which is causing problems between Hiro and Mayo. The thing I really love about this series is how beautiful the art is. Like, I'll just show you the cover of the volume if that will focus. I think it's focused. But just how beautiful the volume is. Like, the art is very good. It's no, the light's kind of off there. But the art is really good, so I would give that a 4 out of 5 stars. As reading the series, you'll definitely understand why I love the art so much. It is so good. And then just the whole concept of the story, and it's so different. Like, the way I'm explaining it, it probably sounds very confusing to you guys because I'm not really good at explaining things. But if you guys were to read a better synopsis, you'd probably understand it more. But it is so good. Definitely brings in a lot of real world situations. Like, it's a real slice of life. Like, this is something that really happens. These are problems that face people. Not really like moving in with your best friend from childhood or whatever, but more like the age difference of like people getting into relationships, or families splitting up, or children feeling like they're being left out and everything. That's very realistic in the real, like, it's something that happens to a lot of people in the real world, and this manga takes that concept and puts it into like this story is happening in the real world, which I very much enjoy. I really like also how this story has a lot of comedic moments, so it's not just slice of life romance, it's not just all that. They put a lot of funny parts into it because Mayo is very sassy. She is a sassy person, and Hiro has just learned to deal with it. He's like a mom. He does all the cooking, cleaning, all that, so it's very funny to watch them and their dynamic kind of mixed together. In all, I give the series a 4 out of 5 stars as of now. This is only a first impression, so my opinion might change as I continue on reading. I might tell you guys how I like it by the end of I'm done reading. I won't do its own video on it, seeing I'm already doing a video on it now, but I'll just tell you maybe at an end of a video, or if I ever talk about manga or something, I'll just mention it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Alright, bye guys!